Hello everybody, welcome back to the Redmen TV and your player rankings show after Liverpool beat Everton 1-0 at Anfield, courtesy of a Diogo Jota, a vintage Diogo Jota goal, like he's never been away or off form. Yeah, it was good, it was very good, and more importantly, 3 points just moves us back to 12 points clear at the top of the Premier League. With just 8 games to go, we can almost touch it. It's that close. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. This is the part of the night where we rank the players. I pick up their faces. You tell me where to put them, from boss sound to your messing, and you can tell me whether they should be high, low, straddling. And if I put someone on the board and you're not happy, that's when you tell me what to do. So you're very much in control of this, like you are all night, but particularly right now. Wonderful. Let's do Kevin Kelleher first off, because he's the goalie, and that's where you start. Let's chat about him, shall we? We've got a high sound from Graham to kick us off. Listen, I've already said, Everton didn't register a single shot on target. So you don't, listen, Andrea Bocelli could tell you that he hasn't had the busiest night of his life. But, yeah, I think in terms of dealing with crosses and corners and stuff like that, I was actually quite pleased with Keller, because there was a little bit of an aerial bombardment, as you would expect from Everton, who contain the fucking land of the giants in there at times, isn't it? And I think he did okay. He came for a lot of stuff. And sometimes you just, if you're a defender, you're desperate for your keeper to come, because, no pun intended, because A, they can use the hands, therefore they're bigger than everyone else, and B, they are so well protected by referees that the chances are, even the smallest bit of contact and Kelleher goes down, you're going to win something. So yeah, I think he actually commanded those situations in his box really well. So yeah, pleased with Kevin Kelleher's performance. And listen, I feel like we say this all the time with him now. Yeah, exactly that. But there's a chance, all being well with Alisson, fingers crossed he can return against Fulham on the weekend. That may well be Kelleher's last ever performance in Liverpool shirt. And going out with a clean sheet and a win over Everton at Anfield, it's a pretty decent high, isn't it, compared to what would have been his final game in the Carabao Cup final defeat. So, yeah, if that is to be the end for Kevin Kelleher, yeah, solid performance. And like I say, a pleasing end to a very, very impressive Liverpool career. Cool, and I thought distribution-wise he was good as well, and he's quite quick in his thinking tonight. He's not renowned for that. Obviously, we love Alisson Becker, full stop, but in particular for the fact he wants to get us going all the time. I think Kelleher sometimes could be a little bit more unsure when to release, but I think tonight he was actually quite proactive in that too, which is good. Let's do, he is a straddler actually, yeah, I didn't even realise. Just, you know, I'm so autopilot now to doing straddlers. That's where we are. 60 million. Jack Lloyd, my friend, I love your ambition. Michael Edwards would adore you. And I think Kelleher's boss. Stroke sound. But we ain't getting 60 million from him, mate. That's just not happening. Yeah, I did meet him. I did. I know sound. He was a good guy. He would definitely be straddling if he was on the board. Yeah, it's a good point, actually. But it never. So we're fine. Curtis Jones. Right back, Curtis Jones. The best Scouse right back the world has ever seen. I think we can all agree on that early doors, can't we? There's no argument there. I've never seen a Scouser play at right back as well as Curtis Jones did tonight, personally. Defo boss. Absolute boss. Man the match, in my opinion. We'll get to man the match, guys. Jonesy was boss for Jones, considering that position. Yeah, not just a little bit out of position as well. Bear in mind, can I just say on that, just dead quick, Curtis Jones was a left winger. Like, that's where he spent most of his youth career, out wide on the left. You couldn't get more, I mean, striker to keeper, maybe. But in terms of shifts of position, you couldn't really get much more polar opposite. And he did it. And he did it really, really well. So, yeah, people are pleased with Curtis Jones tonight. And I don't get to say that very often, because he's normally public enemy number one, to be honest. Boss in that right side, boss. Get Curtis in high, boss. Yeah, more like that. Scouser in our team. Loads of bosses. Good. hell of a shift tonight. Yeah, okay, I'm happy. Do you know what? I like that comment. He's going to go there as well. I like that comment. I think that is actually a really good comment and a really sort of on the money comment too. But it's almost doing him a disservice because it sounds like we're just saying, well, master of none is the flip side, the other side of that expression. However, I think for him, it does fit the bill. I think he can put in genuinely impressive, solid performances in a lot of different areas of the pitch, in a lot of different roles. And I think we've seen that again tonight from him. Just a really intelligent footballer who, again, can be dropped in. And I made the case a minute ago, there are definitely certain games and certain circumstances whereby you wouldn't even consider Curtis Jones at right back. You might turn to Joel Quansah, and the weekend might be one of them against the Fulham side who are at home, who are going to show more attacking endeavour. However, if you can trust him in games like tonight where you are going to dominate possession, why not? Why not? It's an option. And let's be honest, the likelihood is we're going to need right-back options. We're going to need to consider what the right-back position looks like next year anyway. But I thought he did, as auditions go, I thought it was a good one. Anyway, Ibu Konate. I picked him up about 45 minutes ago. Let's chat about Ibu. Okay, I'm interested by what you think actually. Low boss. High sound. Boss. I think he got better second half. Yeah, just seen that comment as well. I think he got better second half. I wasn't in love with his first half performance, I won't lie to you. I don't know whether, and Virgil Van Dijk definitely fits into this category as well. I don't know whether he handled Beto's physicality particularly brilliantly. Lost out on a couple of initial headers, and a couple of second balls weren't going our way either. Yeah, I don't know. And the initial moment which Van Dijk obviously then fluffed massively, that's Konate losing out as well in the first instance. So, yeah, I wasn't convinced entirely by Ibu tonight. I thought it was good, but I'm not sure we're in boss territory personally. We've got a lot of sounds coming in. Both centre-backs were shaky today. Yeah. Konate was really poor, actually. And I think upping your messing's a bit harsh. Listen, I wasn't in love with what I saw from Ibu. Low sound. Okay. I'm going to go there for Ibu. Again, I thought second half was a marked improvement. I think if it was first half, we might have been talking, Jesus Christ, Virgil's stuck on there. I think we might have been talking a touch lower, but I think he got better, personally. Virgil Van Dijk, yeah. A couple of times he had a real problem with Beto. Gets away with one because the offside flag goes up, obviously, and he gets away with another one because Beto inexplicably hits the post when one-on-one with Kelleher. And we should mention Kelleher for that one as well. I thought he did okay getting out and narrowing the angle down, actually, to be fair as well. But yeah, not himself, not his solid, assured, thou shalt not pass self at all. And whilst Beto clearly is a handful in terms of the fact that he's 6'4", he puts himself about a little bit, I just feel like he's not of a level to be causing Van Dijk or Konate that many problems, really. And again, there's one moment where it's like a pretty stray pass into just an area, and Beto gets there ahead of both of them again. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm just bemoaning our centre-backs at this point. Yeah, I think he definitely improved second half. Okay. Let's go, same as Ibu at best, people are saying. Virg, same as Konate, good interception in the second. Yeah, they both had moments. But I think if they both went away and rewatched that entire game, and again, certainly the first 45, they'd look at it and go, we really didn't deal with what is a pretty average Premier League striker well at all. And ultimately, it wasn't as if there was loads of attacking threat coming from Everton. It was literally often one ball into something like the area of Beto, his vicinity, and he was winning too many knockdowns, and Everton were picking up too many second balls, and that's where those two will be thinking we should be fucking dealing with that every day of the week. So, anyway, Andy Robertson. Great lower boss, says Plu. Here we go. Got us started. Yeah, thought that was good, actually. That delivery. His delivery looked a bit more on point tonight, actually. Something he obviously became renowned for a long time, but hasn't. I did have to give myself a wry smile when he decided the best option with his back to goal would be swivelling and hitting it without even a sight of the goal at that point. I mean, he's not the most accurate of shooters at the best of times, let alone without seeing the goal for about 45 seconds. But anyway, yeah, exactly that, Kevin. A lot of positivity about Robbo, though, which is nice to see. High sound, low boss, high sound. So, yeah, lots of bosses too. Okay. I don't think he's quite Curtis Jones level tonight, but I thought it was a very, very good performance, which was pleasing. Let's move into the midfield then, shall we? Ryan Gravenberch. What do we make of Ryan? I thought he looked more mobile, shall we say, than before the break. I honestly thought he looked absolutely fucked pre-international break, like knackered. He was the one. I think McAllister's light was flashing a little bit. I think Szoboszlai's light's been flashing at times as well recently. But honestly, Gravenberch looked like he had nothing left in the tank. And I think, obviously, he went away in international duty, then pretty much came straight back. That's done him the world of good, I think. And again, I don't think it was, early season Gravenberch level of performance, whereby he's just absolutely joyous to watch. But I thought it was closer, and I thought again it looked like more vigour about it, more verve about it, which was much needed. Okay, we've got some mixed chat about Gravenberch. A couple of decent shots. He did try his luck once or twice, and with decent effect actually. Tested Pickford, and sometimes you need that. I do get frustrated with our lack of just have a go-ness sometimes, because we get to the edge of the box countless occasions, and I feel like sometimes we do try and go one pass too many, especially against teams who do set up in that way. They are so deep, they've got such a low block. And again, to give Everton a little bit of credit, which I've done twice already tonight, when they do get organised, do get men behind the ball, when you allow them to do that, they do it well, because they've done that forever. They did that under Sean Dyche all the time. So if you let them get set, they become difficult to break down at that point, especially if you're not moving the ball quickly enough. So actually just having a shot can change the dynamic of what's going on. And Gravenberch was one of the ones to do that tonight, which is good. Sound. Not a great game from Ryan, but still in the sound region. Okay, then. I think he's a touch higher than the centre-back, personally. Alexis McAllister. Alexis McAllister. I'm just glad he didn't break his leg in half, to be fair. Here we go. Yeah, we have. You're right, mate. Not even I can make a case for Alexis McAllister, who manned the match tonight, to be honest. As much as I adore him, and I thought he was decent tonight, you won't catch me claiming for a single second that the start should go by his head, as tempting as it may be. But I did think he was okay, to be fair. Usual. I don't think there's ever been a game since he joined Liverpool where he didn't at one point look like his career might be over. And tonight he had legitimate cause for that look, because fucking hell, that wasn't a tackle. That, I don't know how to describe it in truth. Nearly assault, maybe. And I'm aware, if anyone's bitching, rival fans in particular, of how much of the ball Tarkowski gets. And again, I said it a minute ago on the last show, normally that proportion of ball to me means no foul. But I'm sorry, you can't follow through like that. You can't, and he knows what he's doing. I've played enough footy in my time to know you don't need to clatter the man like that. We're very fortunate. McAllister's very fortunate that his leg wasn't stuck. It wasn't straight. It wasn't in the ground. And it wasn't his shin, because I don't want to think about what the consequences would have been had it been for those things. Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Most consistent apart from Salah? Yeah, I like that. I think he's definitely in that conversation, Jack, to be honest with you, mate. I do. I think Gravenberch was probably leading that way at one point. Salah's numbers have just been Salah's numbers, obviously. Van Dijk's also in that bracket too. But I don't think McAllister's a million miles away. And again, I'm such an advocate for and McAllister loving that I'll be right there with you at the barricades. Right, here's Dom Szoboszlai. Come find him then. Let's do Dom. What do we think of Dom Szoboszlai tonight? Most ineffective of the three midfielders, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, sound. I'm not saying he had a bad game necessarily, by the way. Just don't think it was a classic from him either, to be honest. Couldn't get into the game, probably a good way of describing it, actually. You're messing. I mean, that feels harsh. Beyond it, there's going to be no you're messing tonight. Let's get that out there early doors, because we just won the Merseyside derby and we're 12 points clear, so that won't be happening. But we can talk about sounds. Below average, yeah. Listen, you're not going to get much of an argument from me, to be honest, in terms of sounds for Dom. Cool. In that case, just below McAllister. Luis Diaz. I think Luis Diaz, had it not been for Diogo Jota's goal, obviously, and Curtis Jones performing so well out of position, I think Diaz is man the match candidate, personally. Just a constant threat, really. And he often is that. I feel there's a bit more oomph to what he did tonight and a bit more intent to what he did, actually. Because I think sometimes he can flatter to deceive a little bit. I don't think he's quite as that as your likes of Jeremy Doku and your show ponies, basically. I don't think he's that. He has more of an end product and he has more directness to what he does than those sort of players. However, there are times where he frustrates the life out of me because I feel like he's done someone, then he'll go back and do him again, and then he'll cut back and reset and recycle possession, where it felt like he was one-on-one with his full-back, go and take him on, take him into the box. I think we've seen a lot more of that today. And he is absolutely, we say it all the time, he's absolutely relentless. Like, just, now you're talking, one of Diaz's best performances of the season. Yeah, I agree. He's non-stop, isn't he? There's a moment, it might have been the first half, where the ball just kind of breaks to Everton, and they're on a potential counter-attack, and it's pretty much right on the centre spot, definitely in the centre circle. And Diaz comes back and nicks it off him and gets us playing again. Like, that's him in a nutshell. Absolutely non-stop running. Yeah, good. Jim Flanagan, always positive, Jim. He wasn't very good, mate, but I've told you, we're not having the messings. It's not happening. Plue, give Diaz a bit. There's an after conversation for another day, if truth be told. What I will say on that is, I do feel like we either need to give him a new deal this summer and really commit and double down on Diaz, or sell him, which sounds quite, cutthroat in a way to go one way or the other. But I do think we're at that point now, that tipping point with him, because 2 years left on his deal, still on the first contract he ever got at the football club. You are do we really back him? Do we think he's the one, or do we cash in now? I don't know which way I'd go, personally. It changes from week to week, I think. I like Diaz tonight. He was boss. Diaz man the match. I like Diaz. Yeah, lots of positivity around Luis Diaz tonight, which is good. I like that. Let's go there. Feluccio. We'll do Mo Salah first. Couldn't really get into the game, could he, Mo, to be honest? I think he had moments, if you'll pardon the pun. That's twice that. Ahead of early doors against Pickford. Couldn't really do a lot else with it, to be honest. There's one, actually, where it falls to him, breaks him in the box, and he tried to control it with his head, which was bizarre. But yeah, I think more often, he just got outnumbered, and they just doubled up on him too often. And I don't think we ever really got him into a position whereby he could do anything particularly meaningful. There is one really early on where I felt like there was a split second where we could have pulled the trigger. But yeah, other than that, it was crosses into the box, which is relatively pointless given the size of Everton centre half. You've got to be so accurate with deliveries if you're going to do that, and we just weren't. So yeah, he was double marked, to be fair. He was. Listen, he's allowed, a couple of off days, and I think this is one of them, really. Just quiet as opposed to off. Didn't do anything particularly poor or bad. He wasn't like a net negative on the team, just a quiet performance from Mo Salah. And often he has them, and then he scores, and we all go, well, that's Mo Salah for you. You know what I mean? Obviously, that didn't come tonight, but still, I think it's okay. He will score more goals between now and the end of the season without a single shadow of doubt. Sound, lots of sounds for Mo. I think somewhere along to Bosley, personally. I don't think it was particularly much worse than that. Diogo Jota, match winner. Diogo Jota. I'm one of the first to be critical of Diogo because I'm a big believer in the best ability of footballers is durability and availability. And Diogo Jota down this time at Liverpool hasn't had that at all. He's had lengthy injury layoffs. And therefore, my thoughts on him are forever tarnished, blinkered, whatever, by the fact that he misses too many games of football, basically. Not always his fault, granted, but still, at some point, you've just got to look at it cold-bloodedly and say what it is, and that's how it's been. And recently, his form hasn't stacked up either, because the one caveat to my thoughts on Jota was always the fact that when he does play, he fucking scores goals. And I've always maintained that he's our best, most ruthless finisher in certain situations where you want the ball to fall somebody in the box, you want it to be Jota. However, recently, he hasn't showed that either. So not only is he, fit and available all the time, he was in dreadful form too. So you do start to wonder, you don't know, I don't abuse Liverpool players full stop, but you do start to wonder, what you're getting. You're not getting a player who can play for you all the time, and you're not getting performances and results when he plays either at the minute. So I don't quite know what we're doing here. But to give him so much credit, I thought he looked so much sharper tonight, even before the goal. He just looked more at it, and he looked hungrier. He looked like his touch was back. Everything was back. It had more energy to the whole performance. And then the goal, it couldn't be more Jota. It really couldn't be more Jota. He has this bundling nature, and he has this ability to just slalom his way, seemingly inexplicably, through defenders, and just, the finish basically was in the middle of the net, but that's exactly where it needed to go. Just brilliant. I do. It's a love-hate relationship with Diogo and me, I'll be honest with you. It really is. I love him to pieces when he does that, but he frustrates the life out of me as well. Honestly, he always has a little bit as well. Maybe there is that. And he spoke recently, and I feel so. I have sympathy for him in many ways because he's clearly desperate just to be fit and to be on form. He owns that space without a shadow of a doubt. So I do have some sympathy. But I thought his performance tonight again was so much more like it. Yeah, possibly. There's Diaz, isn't it, and Tarkowski. I must admit, Tarkowski shouldn't be on the pitch to get that out there early doors. But if Diaz isn't there and he's offside, obviously, I don't think Tarkowski has to play it. And if he does have to play it, we had one of these with Dejan Lovren, didn't we, against Spurs a few years ago, if you remember. And I think it was John Moss who went over to fourth official and basically said, I haven't got a fucking clue whether he saw it or not, but I'm going to give the penalty, which is great refereeing. But I must admit, if I was an Everton fan, I'd be pretty pissed off about that. Because if Diaz isn't a person, then Tarkowski doesn't need to jump across and try and intercept that pass. He could probably just stroll over or leave it and let it run through. But anyway, don't worry about that. Jota was high sound, kept going and won it. Yeah, okay. Goal was like Firmino versus. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Less players on the floor by the end of it, but still, I see where you're coming from. Cool. Let's do quick subs, and then we can do a man the match. We can do on the slot and then a man the match, and then I can go home. Which I'm quite looking forward to. I won't lie to you. Cool. Let's do. Diaz really didn't intervene in that first play. No, but it maybe. Listen, I'm not defending referees nor Everton. That's not what I'm doing here. But his mere existence means that the defender has to act in a certain way. No, I don't think he intervened in terms of didn't touch the ball, but still. You see where I'm coming from. Let's do Endo first. The finisher that is Endo. Just for existing boss. That's what we like. That's what we like to see. Endo boss always ends. Yeah. Endo the final whistle boss. The fella barely kicked the ball. And yet here we are. Let's do Darwin Núñez. That yellow card. Somebody still needs to explain that to me. because I'm none the wiser. And what I will say about that is, whilst it was pretty stupid, considering the fact that the whistle went like 40 seconds before it, he didn't give up. Like, that is chasing lost causes and then some. And had it not been for the referee's eagerness to blow the whistle for the foul on Szoboszlai, he's probably won as a penalty there. So yeah, Darwin being Darwin, really. Nunes low sound, he gave the ball away for a danger. And also, when we've seen at the game, obviously he doesn't come back to cost us, so it's whatever. But he has that shot when you're thinking, corner will probably do us here, mate. Get yourself in the corner. But again, as we often say, Darwin. Yeah, exactly that. Right, let's put him somewhere, shall we? Let's put him there. Fine. Cody Gakpo. Back. Yeah. I was surprised he didn't start, to be honest with you. It was City, very City-esque, that penalty would have been, had it not. Oh, was it for that, was it? Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure about that. Can you have a Darwin rating? Yeah, he's on there. We've done it. Like, back onto the pitch. Interesting. Time wasted, is it? Yeah, I guess it is. He got treatment. Yeah, makes sense. Sad. Cody Gakpo. I mean, why am I even like the subs? You know, barely. I've not even got space for him. He can go there, can't he? On the slot, and then the man the match, and then we are done. Exactly. This is my realization 30 seconds ago. Why am I literally doing this? Let's do on a slot. Team selection, subs, the fact we've won, how beautiful a person he is, whatever. What do we think? He's got to win the league. Boss, slot sound, slot boss, another sound. Yeah, I think, listen, it was, yeah, quite a bold team selection, actually, from the manager, to be fair, because, you know, we've seen Quanta right back a lot recently. It would have been quite easy for him to do that, but he's decided that because of the way he felt that the game was going to shape up, Curtis was the pick. And listen, we spent a long time before praising Curtis Jones, so we should share the same sentiments around the slots team selection and trust in Jones to do that job, really. So, yeah, I think a very, very positive night for the manager. Personally, exactly this, Jackson Rodgers. Exactly this. Good, and people echoing that too. Wonderful. I love it when we all agree. Isn't that much more fun? Arguing shite. When will you believe we win the league, truthfully? Now, we are going to win the league. We absolutely are going to win the league. Like, done. We're going to win the Premier League. Like, it's just, I've said it for a little while, I think, a good few weeks now, because we just win games of football. Because we're a really good football team. Yeah, we're just going to win the league. And what we're going to win the league. Like, Arsenal aren't going to lose the league. City aren't going to lose the league. We're going to actually go and win the league now. Started tonight, but we're going to win the league. Win more matches and win the league. So, yeah, there you go. Hope that answers your question. How many games do the club need? Is it 4? 3 more? 3 more now? 3 more wins? Might be wrong on that. My maths is not fantastic. It's not done as mathematically impossible. No, that is literally could not be more factual. 13 more points wins is more than that, isn't it? That's 4 and a bit, actually. Providing Arsenal drop more points. 4 more wins. Yeah, okay, Sam. 4 games. Yeah, it's fine. We're going to win the league. On a slot, you can go there. Man of the match. Man of the match. I think we've got 2 candidates for man of the match. Louis Diaz, Curtis Jones. What do we think? Misty kicks us off. We have a Jones. We've got Etsam with Jones as well. Shawnee says Jones. Yeah. Do you reckon a lot of the... I thought Jones was brilliant, by the way. Let me get that out there and caveat what I'm about to say. But, like, I think a lot of the praise and the positivity around Jones' performance is because our expectations were so low pre-match a little bit, or the surprise of him being in the right back position maybe, and he'd gone above and beyond what we all expected. That might not be it, but I'm just saying. I think that probably does enhance our view on his performance somewhat, personally. Jones, Diaz, Jones, surely. Jones, and this is kind of what I'm referring to here. The fact that we have to add the out of position thing on. Yeah, I don't disagree with it, by the way. I just think it was worth mentioning. Is it wrong to say Jones? It's not wrong to say Jones at all. It's the absolute right call to make. Diaz all day. Oh, we had quite a lot of goal difference. Yeah, it's another fucking good point for me and Griffiths, actually. Yeah, it's done now. Don't worry about when it's going to happen, or just let it be. It will come when it comes. It's going to happen. We're going to win the league. I just hope that my big diatribe a minute ago about us winning the league, I really hope beyond all hopes. I've waited for my entire life, really, to see us properly win the league. Obviously, it happened a few years ago, but it didn't. It didn't. As much as, it pains me to admit it, we weren't there. So, it stings a bit, that still. And obviously, it was us basically watching City and Chelsea play and therefore giving us the league title, which was great. But, I'm desperate for us to be playing a game of football when it happens and winning that game. And ideally, it's at home as well. I know there are a few different stipulations I've got there, but I really, really want that to happen. I feel like we deserve that. We've waited for so long. I've waited for so long from a completely selfish point of view. My whole life, like I say, all 33 years of it. I know I look older. But honestly, that's my wish right now, that we are playing football, winning a game of football, and that win gives us the league title. Please. Sound. Don't know how I quite got to that when I was talking about man of the matches, but there we go. Sounds. Give it to Curtis Jones. Trent man of the match. You fucker. Diaz man of the match. All right, listen. I'm going to do what I normally do at this point. I'm going to give it 30 seconds. And then when I see the most one name, that's when I'll decide who it's going to be. So just bombard the chat with Jones or Diaz, and whoever I see the most gets this honour bestowed upon them. So let's do it, shall we? Split it and go home. Down Ward, that's very tempting. I've had an absolute influx of Diaz's there. I don't know. Before it felt like Jones was winning, right? And when I've said that, Diaz has absolutely twatted it. Henry Ramira, I'm getting more and more tempted to share it, I know that's a proper cop-out, but fuck it. Right, I'm going to move Andy Robertson. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put it above both of them. There you go. Louis Diaz, Curtis Jones, man the match. Argue amongst yourselves. Sound. Sam, thank you very much. Somebody has to say it every week, otherwise I just drag the show on and on and on until somebody does, basically. But it's done now, so I can go now. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it massively. Thanks again. I say this all the time. I'm going to do it all over for getting involved in this, the last bit, the watch along, and the bit right at the start. It's massively, massively appreciated because this is fucking pointless, right, you all. So yeah, thanks for getting involved. Thanks for supporting the channel. We'll be back. Oh God, Sunday, Fulham. Of course we will. Of course, I was trying to think of pre-shows before that. There's an Umbu on Friday morning, which I'll be doing as well, so I'll see you then. But honestly, Liverpool top of the league. Liverpool are going to win the league, which is even better, because we beat Everton 1-0, and that's always fucking nice, isn't it, to be honest. Enjoy the rest of your nights, Fridays, etc. Take care, look after yourselves, love you all, goodbye.